Somebody will say to me, "Hey, G, did you see that?" Nope. No, I didn't. Good morning. We've made it to week 17 of the training plan for Goofy's Race and a Half Challenge, and I've delayed it by about 3 days because of that 17-mile run the other day.
Gorge.
But I have recovered, and now I've got 2 45-minute maintenance runs and a 5-mile run at the end of the week. Now, I learned late last night that I've made it into F Corral for the half marathon during the Wine and Dine weekend, and I'm going to tell you this week about what motivates me, what's pushing me to do this, about my visual impairment. The sun's up, time to get moving. While I catch my breath, you probably wonder why I always choose the same subdivisions, the same sidewalks. Well, it's for safety's sake. Because I have Stargardt disease. It's also known as fundus flavimaculitis or juvenile macular degeneration. As I'm out of breath from running, it's pretty common as degenerative diseases go. About 1 in 10,000 people have it here in the United States. And in almost all cases, it leads to legal blindness, which is where I am. Run timer. It's a defect in the ABCR gene, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what that does later. But it is degenerative and it's hereditary. My brother has it, my twin. And from diagnosis to legal blindness was about 3 years for me. It's one reason why I'm running. Because after 10 years of being homebound, not being able to get out, I kind of wanted to prove to myself that I could still do something. Run timer. Four and a half miles, finishing up. Stick around, I'm going to compare how you see to how I see.
Workout complete. You did it.
Let's talk visual acuity. You may recognize the Snellen eye chart. This is what you use when you go to the eye doctor's office to get your glasses or contact lenses. Sometimes they can actually use a computer to refract your vision. Good boy. Give me that tape. Good boy. Thanks, Coach. This is the first place I put the duct tape, and the eye chart's 20 feet away. If you can read that from here, just above the red line, line number 8, you've got 20/20 vision. Here at this point in my neighbor's driveway, I've marked 100 feet. That means if you can see the second line on that eye chart right across the street, you still have 20/20 vision. Of course, I can't even see the top line. That's the 2200 line, which is the big E. That means what you can see at 200 feet, I would have to be at 20 feet to see. But my vision's much worse than that, and anything worse than 2200 is legally blind. A low vision specialist helped me figure out my vision in the periphery is actually somewhere between 2,800 and 23,000. And that brings up something else when I tell people I'm legally blind and they say, hey, I'm legally blind too without my glasses. Well, the bottom line is you can't be, and it's kind of hurtful when you say that, because if you can be corrected by glasses, contacts, or surgery, you're not legally blind. And in fact, right now, there is no treatment or cure for Stargardts.
3, 2, 1. Workout started.
So hopefully the breeze is not bad, but typically our vision, each eye, is somewhere around, I don't know, about 120 to 130 degrees combined, 180 degrees. When you have macular degeneration, the central 10 degrees is affected. That's the area where we do most of our seeing. Shape, color, reading. The most cells are in the macula. Now, in my vision, in my visual field, about 60 to 70 degrees of each eye has these large blind spots in the middle. They're not black, they're kind of gray, there's nothing in them. There's some light and dark, but they're there. And my right eye has gotten significantly worse over the past year for some reason. Let's run. Let me explain how my vision works. I can see a speck of dust on my shoulder, but I cannot see my face in the mirror. I can make out shapes and colors in my peripheral vision, but I could not pick you out of a crowd or find a family member's face 2 or 3 feet from me. I can run, but I can't drive, just not allowed. And you probably wouldn't want me to, for safety reasons.
What we do here is go back.
Making up for my missed shoulder routine from last week, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to explain exactly how Stargardt disease causes my vision loss. So every cell in our body in the process of doing what they do actually creates waste. So take a look at weight training, at pumping iron, you're building muscle. As you tear down the muscle tissue, you're actually creating the lactic acid. And if you think about it, if it's not cleaned away, what happens? You get cramps. In your eyes, it's much the same thing. The rods and cones, in the process of seeing shape and color and light and dark, they create a small amount of fatty acid. And in most people, a protein pump at the cellular level actually cleans that away. But in someone with Stargardt, that doesn't happen. So the fatty acid sits at the back of the eye. If you looked at a picture, it kind of looks like fool's gold. And over time, it crushes the cells and then causes vision loss. We join this final maintenance run of the week already in progress. 3 miles, 30 minutes, 10-minute pace at 70 degrees. And hopefully it will be the last morning at that temperature. Cold fronts coming in, dropping us into the upper 50s over the weekend. Woohoo! As you can imagine, my diagnosis of Stargardt's 13, 14 years ago was quite upsetting. It kind of killed a career I had built 15 years to develop and foster. It did it in only 2.5 to 3 years, I could no longer, for instance, read a teleprompter. It means I can't drive. It means I can't do a lot of things without special assistance. But it's okay, because life's challenges force us to change, and in many ways for the better. Run timer. Let's move along. So that'll do it for week 17 of Goofy's Race and a Half Challenge training, and it's something I really wanted to share with everyone. I was telling my brother recently, I don't focus on this. I don't waste any time on sadness or anger when it comes to this diagnosis. Find the joy. Enjoy your life. Enjoy what you're doing. Coming up for week 18 of Goofy's Race and a Half Challenge training, a little food and wine before the Wine and Dine weekend.